Hello friends, today I am going to teach you some important differences of the chapter reproduction. So let's start. First, the first difference is that sperm and ovum. We have to differentiate between sperm and ovum. What is sperm and some characteristics of sperm, then what is ovum and some characteristics of ovum. First, sperm is male gamete. We have to write sperm is male gamete and ovum is female gamete. Okay, and where the sperm will be produced? The sperm is produced from the testis and ovum is produced from the ovary. We get 2 points. First, the male gamete is sperm and the female gamete is ovum. Another point is that the production or sperm is produced from male gonad, that is testis, and ovary is produced from ovum is produced from female body, female gonad, that is ovary. Okay, one spermatogonium gives rise to 4 spermatogonia. In the process of production of sperm is known as spermatogenesis. In that process, spermatogenesis process, we get 4 spermatozoa. That means 4 sperms from only one spermatogonium. From only one spermatogonium, that gives rise to 4 spermatozoa. Whereas one oogonium produce one big ovum, that is large in size. Okay, then the third point is that sperm is differentiated into head, middle piece, head, neck, middle piece, and tail. Okay, the sperm, according to the figure of sperm, it is differentiated into head, neck, middle piece, and tail. Okay, it is head, it is neck. There is two centrioles present in neck and middle piece. So many mitochondria are present, and in tail, it is the tail. Whereas in ovum, it is not differentiated. Okay, it is globular and not differentiated into regions. Okay, next, it has less amount of cytoplasm. Sperm is movable. First point is that sperm is movable, whereas ovum is immobile. Okay, so to carry his movable character, sperm has less amount of cytoplasm, less amount of volume. Sperm has less amount of cytoplasm. Okay, whereas to contain large amount of cytoplasm are present or ooplasm are present in ova or egg. Okay, then mitochondria spiral in sperm, whereas mitochondria in ovum are scattered. In ovum, mitochondria are present in scattered. Okay, whereas in sperm, mitochondria are present in spiral. This is another point. And sperm is motile. I have already told you that sperm is motile and ovum is immobile or immobile, and it penetrates the ovum. Sperm is penetrates the ovum for the fertilization. Okay, and sperm head during fertilization, and egg engulfs sperm head. Egg receives, you can use easy word that egg receives sperm for the fertilization. Okay, this is all about your difference between sperm and ovum. Then the next, primary sex organ and secondary sex organ. Okay, what is primary sex organ? The primary sex organ are only gonads, that is testis in male, and ovary in female. Okay. The gonads are the primary sex organ. This is very important. Whereas in secondary sex organ, they include genital ducts and reproductive glands. Okay. These are the secondary sex organ: genital ducts and reproductive glands. What is the second character? Primary sex organ produce gametes and secrete sex organ. Okay. We we already know about it, that primary sex organ, that is testis and ovary of male and female, produces male gametes and female gametes respectively, and they also secrete sex hormone for secondary sexual character. Okay. Then the second point of secondary sex organ is that they transport gametes. Gametes are transport and secret transporting medium and helps in the reproductive process. Secondary sex organ are helps in the reproductive process. Okay. Then primary sex organ growth maintenance, and the growth and maintenance of primary sex organ and the functions are regulated by pituitary gonadotropins. These primary sex organs growth, maintenance and function are only regulated by the pituitary gonadotropins. Okay, this is the main, is that this controls the entire reproductive capacity of human. Okay, because of these pituitary gonadotropins, the maintenance, growth and functions of gonads are formed, and due to that gonads, the reproductive capacity of human will be formed. Okay. Whereas the growth of secondary sexual character, that is growth, maintenance and functions, are regulated by the hormone secreted by the gonad. Okay. If the gonads are gonad function will be very easy, then their function, or the function of the secondary sex organ, is good. Okay. Next is testis ovary, that is gonad. Testis is, first point is that testis is male gonad, ovary is female gonad. Okay, you can easily write this. Testis is male gonad. It is already seen here that testis is male gonad and ovary is female gonad. Okay, testis produce sperm, ovary produce ova. Okay, this is the second point. Testis produces spermatozoa, whereas ovary produces ova or egg, or you can write egg. Okay, testis is located outside the body. Testis is located outside the body because to maintain the temperature 2 degree less than the body temperature. Okay, because in human or some other mammals, the sperm is released if the temperature of the testis is less than the body temperature, 2 degree less than the body temperature. Okay, so testis is located outside the body, whereas ovary is located inside the body. Testis requires 2 degree less than the temperature of the body to produce sperm. It requires, and ovary can act it with the body temperature. Then the next point is that it produces large number of sperms, because one spermatogonia produces 4 sperms. One spermatogonium produces 4 4 sperms. One spermatogonia produces 4 sperms, whereas one oogonia produces only one ovum. Okay. Through its active life, throughout the life, it produces the sperm throughout life, whereas it produces limited number of ova in the regular monthly cycle. Only 1 month there will be one egg is released. One egg is released in only 1 month. Okay. It produces testosterone hormone. Testis produces testosterone hormone, whereas ovary produces progesterone and estrogen hormone. Next, spermatogenesis and oogenesis. First, we can write that production of the process by which haploid sperms are produced from the diploid germ cell of testis, that is known as spermatogenesis, and the process by which haploid ovum are produced from the diploid germ cell of ovary, that is known as oogenesis. This is the clear definition of spermatogenesis and oogenesis. You can write this. It takes place in testis, it takes place in ovary. Okay. One primary spermatocyte after maturation division forms spore formated. One primary oocyte after maturation division forms only one ovum. Okay. This is the differential between spermatogenesis and oogenesis. Then it is completed within the testis, whereas oogenesis is completed after the fertilization. After till fertilization, the ovum is not produced because ଯେତେ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ଫର୍ଟିଲାଇଜେସନ୍ ହେଇନି ସେ କ'ଣ ହେଇକି ଥିବ ସେକେଣ୍ଡାରୀ oocyte ହେଇକି ଥିବ. Haploid number fast maturation division will completed, that is reduction division, and that produce secondary oocyte. Okay. And after the fertilization, when the ovum is come in contact with the sperm, then what will occur? The secondary oocyte form the ovum and fertilization process is complete. Okay. The next point is that growth phase of spermatogenesis is insignificant. Primary spermatocytes are only twice the size of the spermatogonia. You can easily understand it, and we can write the growth phase of spermatogenesis is smaller than that of oogenesis, whereas the growth phase than that of the oogenesis. Okay, the growth phase of oogenesis is larger than that of the spermatogenesis. Okay, larger. Spermatozoa are minute, active and mobile with number of reserve food or cytoplasm. Spermatozoa are minute, active, mobile. You can write sperm are active, they are mobile, whereas ova are inactive and immobile. Ova are large in size, sperm is. This is the difference between sperm and ovum. Okay. In spermatogenesis, no polar body formation takes place, whereas in oogenesis, 2 to 3 polar bodies are formed. Okay. In spermatogenesis, vitellogenesis, production of yolk is not formed, whereas in oogenesis, vitellogenesis process will occur. Okay. Then osteocycle and menstrual cycle. What is the difference between osteocycle and menstrual cycle? A series of cyclic changes in female reproductive system of non-primate mammals that is present in non-primate mammals, whereas menstrual cycle is present in primate mammals. A series of cyclic changes in the reproductive system of primate female which extend over the month. Okay, we will already read about it, that the cyclic discharge of blood, mucus on fertilized egg is known as menstrual cycle. Okay, oestrocycle is the series of cyclic changes in female reproductive system of non-primate mammals. Then menstruation does not take place in oestrocycle, whereas menstruation or bleeding phase takes place in menstrual cycle. A number of eggs may be liberated at the time of ovulation. Only one ovum is liberated at the time of ovulation. Endometrium is reabsorbed at the end of cycle, and endometrial debris are flushed out during menstrual cycle. They break down during menstrual cycle, and the proliferation of that endometrium occur during the proliferative phase. Okay. Then mating takes place during heat period. Mating takes place during heat period in primate mammals. For example, cow, rat, dog, etc. are non-primate mammals. And mating can take place at any time, but conception takes place at the time of ovulation in human. This is the main example is that human. Okay, human beings are many examples of menstrual cycle. Next, spermatogenesis, oogenesis. Sorry, spermatogenesis and spermiogenesis. What is the difference between spermatogenesis and spermiogenesis? The process of formation of mature sperms from the germinal organ is known as spermatogenesis, where the process of differentiation of spermatids into spermatozoa. Spermatids into the process by which spermatids are converted to spermatozoa or sperm is known as spermiogenesis, whereas the production of sperm from the gonads, that is known as spermatogenesis. But you can easily understand what is spermatogenesis and what is spermiogenesis. Okay. Spermatogenesis involves a multiplication stage, that is a growth stage, maturation stage. Okay, multiplication stage, that is occur only in spermatogenesis, whereas in spermiogenesis the differentiation stage, therefore it is a part of spermiogenesis. Only differentiation takes place in spermiogenesis. Then spermatogonium produces 8 spermatozoa. A spermatogonium produces 8 spermatozoa. Sorry, it is wrong. Produces four spermatogonia. Okay, one spermatid develops into one spermatozoa. This is the difference. Then corpus luteum and corpus albicans. It is very important for 2020, and you are the 2021 batch, so it is also very important because in 2020 the exam of biology is cancelled. Okay, so it can be asked in your examination. So corpus luteum and corpus albicans. What is corpus luteum and albicans? After ovulation, the Graafian follicle changes into corpus luteum. After ovulation, the Graafian follicle changes into yellow color corpus albicans. Okay, sorry, corpus luteum. The color of corpus luteum is yellow, while the color of corpus albicans is white. This is one point. Okay. it it is released after ovulation. If there is no pregnancy of the corpus luteum degenerates into corpus albicans. Okay, it made of luteal cells and it is made of scar tissues. This is a white scar. Okay, it is the luteal phase. It secretes hormone progesterone. Corpus luteum release hormone progesterone, whereas corpus albicans release hormone does not release any hormone. You can screenshot. Okay, next shot. Menarche and menopause. What is menarche and what is menopause? It refers, that means menarche refers to beginning of menstruation at puberty in primate human female. Human क्षेत्र कौन हुए ना beginning of menstrual puberty. Menstrual cycle beginning को menarche बोली कुहाଯାଏ. Whereas in menopause, it refers to stoppage of menstrual cycle. This is the beginning of menstrual cycle and this is the stoppage of menstrual cycle. Okay, I hope you can understand. In human female, menstruation begins about 13 years, 10 to 12 to 13 years. 12 ରୁ 13 ବର୍ଷ ଭିତରେ menstrual cycle start ହେଇଯାଏ. in human case. Okay, whereas in menopause starts at the age of stopping of menstrual cycle starts at the age of 45 to 50. It marks the beginning of reproductive phase. এটা কোন reproductive phase ର beginning को ସୂଚାଏ, whereas it marks the end of reproductive phase, and it marks the end of reproductive phase. Next, morula blastula. Morula. What is morula? It is a solid ball-like structure which looks like a little mulberry. It is a, after the sorry after the after the fertilization, when the zygote is formed, that is looked like a solid ball-like structure which is known as morula, and it is a hollow structure in blastocell cavity is in the center, that is known as blastula. It develops from the zygote and develops from the morula. Morula develop into blastula. Okay, from this point you can know about it that first the zygote develop into morula and morula develop into blastula in the blastocyst cavity. Okay, it is formed of similar cells. It is formed out of nutritive cells called trophoblast and inner cell mass. It contains blastula contains nutritive cells and trophoblast inner mass cells. Okay, whereas morula only contains the similar cell of zygote. Zona pellucida is intact, and zona pellucida starts gene disintegrating. Next, cleavage and mitosis. What is cleavage and mitosis? Cleavage occurs in zygote. Zygote, if after fertilization, the zygote undergoes the cleavage process to form morula, blastula, glastula, etc. and etc. to form a unicellular zygote into multicellular embryo. Okay, this is the process of cleavage. Whereas mitosis occurs in majority of cell body. In every cells, mitosis occurs, where in only in embryo or zygote the cleavage is formed. It result, this point is already completed. Okay, the result in decrease of cell size. It results in the decrease of cell size. Cell size of in cleavage system, the number of cell is increased where the cell size is decreased, but in mitosis the size of daughter cells are similar. In cleavage रे कौन हम ना अति कम समय गोटे सेल भांगी एकाधिक सेल गठित कर, but the cell are smaller than the mother cell. But whereas in mitosis, in case of mitosis, the mother cell is equal to the daughter cell. If the mother cell is that, after the mitosis division, it formed two daughter cells having same size. Okay, this point is complete. Cleavage of zygote is not followed by the growth of blastomeres. Cleavage of zygote is not followed by, this is not followed by the blastomeres. Whereas cell division is followed by the growth of daughter cells. Cell division is obviously followed by the growth of daughter cells. Then nuclear cytoplasmic ratio increases. Neutral cytoplasmic ratio increases as cleavage processes, and in nuclear cytoplasmic ratio does not change. What is occur? In cleavage, nuclear and cytoplasmic ratio increases as in cleavage process. Cleavage process common nuclear or cytoplasmic process ratio. Nucleus or cytoplasmic ratio to increase whereas in mitosis it does not occur. Cleavage. Interphase is short and DNA synthesis occurs much faster. Its interphase, that is interphase means rest period. Okay, rest period is very small and it occurs, the DNA process synthesis occurs very faster. Whereas in mitosis interphase is long and DNA synthesis occurs at normal rate. Next, what is fertilization and parthenogenesis? Fertilization is the union or fusion is the union or fusion of male and female gamete is known. The union or fusion of haploid male and female gamete to form a diploid zygote is known as fertilization. Whereas in parthenogenesis, the development of egg into form a haploid individual without fertilization. Without the fertilization, parthenogenesis fertilization हबनी. डायरेक्ट एगटा कौन हम ना इंडिविजुअली परिणत हम. That is known as parthenogenesis. The offspring carries both paternal and maternal character, whereas in parthenogenesis the offspring carry only maternal character, that is mother character. Okay. Offsprings of both sexes are formed. That means both male and female will be produced. But in case of parthenogenesis, offsprings belong one sex only. The offsprings will be only one sex. And it causes variation. Fertilization causes variation. But parthenogenesis does not causes, because it is different from the parent. But in parthenogenesis process, the offspring is clone of the parent. It occurs in insect. It occurs in insect. Example is human. It occurs in common process. That is example is honeybee. Next, fertilization and anti-fertilization. It is chemical substance secreted by ovum. Fertilization is a chemical substance secreted by ovum, and anti-fertilization is the chemical substance secreted by sperm. It is glycoprotein or mucopolysaccharide. Okay, it is the glycoprotein or mucopolysaccharide, and it is a protein also. It makes the sperm sticky and causes agglutination of sperm and prevent polyspermy. It prevents polyspermy, fertilization, whereas anti-fertilization of the sperm feed with fertilization of the egg. Next, external fertilization and internal fertilization. External fertilization means fertilization takes place outside the female or mother, and internal fertilization means a fertilization takes place inside the mother. This is the first point. External fertilization does not involve copulation. It does not involve copulation, whereas internal fertilization involves copulation. Large number of eggs are released. In this case, large number of eggs are released for the fertilization, whereas limited number of eggs are released in the internal fertilization. Water medium is required for fertilization. Body fluid is medium required for fertilization. Development is always external. Development is external or internal. Fertilization example amphibians. Fertilization of human. This is very simple point, so you can easily understand this. Binary fission, multiple fission. In fission, two daughter cell individuals are produced from one individual, that is known as binary. जदि गोटे सेल केवल दीटा सेल दीटा इंडिविजुअल गोटे मदरबोर्ड रु दीटा डॉटर रिलीज हेले, दैट इज नोन एज बाइनरी फिशन. तो गोटे मदरबोर्ड रु नंबर ऑफ सेवरल नंबर ऑफ individuals are formed, that is known as multiple fission. Okay, this is example amoeba and this is plasmodium. Here the nucleus divides once. Here the nucleus divides only once. One nucleus divides to form two nucleus, so division occur only one time, whereas the nucleus divides several times in multiple fission. Nuclear division is followed immediately by cytoplasmic division. After the nuclear division, cytoplasmic division is followed. Okay, in nuclear division is not followed by the immediate cytoplasmic division. It occurs during favorable condition, whereas multiple fission does not occur in favorable condition. It occurs during favorable condition like sufficient food, good weather condition like heat, cool, etc. etc. Whereas this is not occur during this is occur during unfavorable condition. Then asexual reproduction, sexual reproduction. Okay, only one organism is required for reproduction. In asexual reproduction कौन ना मेल फीमेल दीटा को दरकार नहीं केवल गोटे individual can produce his own offspring, whereas in sexual reproduction it requires both male and female, that is biparental division individuals are included. Okay, first point is clear. Then reproduction involves a mitotic or mitotic cell division, and there is no sexuals or gametes. In asexual reproduction, gametes are not involved. This is a point. And in sexual reproduction, gametes are involved. This is another point. Copulation does not involve in asexual reproduction, whereas copulation involved in sexual reproduction. Okay. Fertilization does not take place in asexual reproduction, whereas fertilization takes place in sexual reproduction. Offspring are genetically and morphologically similar to the parents, whereas offspring are genetically and morphologically. Genetically means its genetical constituent, and morphologically बाहर केमती देखा जाए that. Okay, and not similar are similar, does not contribute to process of evolution. Evolution is does not formed in asexual reproduction, whereas evolution involves in sexual reproduction. Then these are the total 15. These are 15 difference of main and most important difference of the chapter reproduction. Okay, thanks for keep watching my video and subscribe my channel to get more video regarding to the physics, chemistry and biology. Thanks for watching.